What's going on, everybody? So make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Plus everyone that's been giving comments and on the views I've been getting on some of my videos. Appreciate that. If we could push it some more, maybe some shares, or just even watching the video. This is actually a photo that I drew of my backyard where I used to live. It's real and simplistic, but that's the outside line of the houses. Then the trees. And, the water. Just kidding, the sky. I still have this painting. I gave a lot of the ones I made away. I think I installed that street light there too. But I thought it'd be nice to shoot a video here. And more so, we're going to talk about how to do meditation or how to become more aware. Some techniques. One would be when you go do something, more so when someone asks you a question, doesn't matter who it is, when someone asks you something, give a moment. It's so funny because you'll know as soon as someone gives a moment, it differentiates everybody else. Because usually people are going da 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 da, how are you? Bye bye. It's going really fast. So when someone asks you something, your job can be, and it can be a little bit weird in society because society's running on a not conscious, basically. They're not in a meditative state at all. They're just running AI. They're running a robot, going chicken wings, doing the same thing over and over. Meanwhile, life is in front of them, and you can do it so many ways and see it for so many things. But we're trying to get to the root that sees all of that. It doesn't matter what goes on or how you judge it, because we're trying to stop your reaction between you judging it. So if you going up to a new scene, going up to a new place you've never been before, it can be anything like that. Anything that's new to you is going to give you some exposure to this. And so you take your time, back to what we were saying, when someone asks you something or when you go somewhere else, you'll do it, but you won't pay attention when it happens most of the time. But this is for you to pay attention. So when you go do new things, new activities, and go to new places, or like I'm setting you up for when you talk to somebody and there's a question asked, just give a little bit of break. It's the same thing if you have children. Don't snap at them. People don't realize they're snapping at the children. They're not going to develop any, they're not going to develop any time, basically, or balance within themselves if you're always snapping at them like a drill sergeant, basically. If you scare somebody, fire, fire. You see how that's scary? Not even what I'm saying, just the way I said it. Now, fire. Obviously you want to say it with some demeanor. But you're going to shock someone. You could shock someone, they could be not able to move the way you said it. There's times that it's your demeanor when you do it. So you'll be aware that will come naturally. You won't have to do things. When you're in a reactive state, you're not aware of how you react. So when you're talking to your children, which I see all the time, the children they're very in God's place. They're very childlike, of course, but they're very in the essence, and they're very aware. They haven't developed that in that cognitive state. They're more in intuition, And so, when you don't want them to do something and they know that, so they like to tickle you. They like to tickle your ear and like to stroke you because they know it makes you mad. That's you not reacting, then they're not going to do it. You see? Also, when you go at the child, and you're always in the face, they're going to have like racing thoughts. They're going to have anxiety. They're going to have fear. If you give them, hey, Johnny, do you like that? Would you like something else? You don't even have to talk. But we're not going to get to that. It's better not to even talk. The less words, the more you say. That's how it comes. Every word you say uses a little bit of energy out of you. A little bit. And that's why people, when they talk all day, their words mean nothing. Because usually they just talk nonstop and it's just a bunch of nothing. So that's one of the greatest things is to give time before you do something. Before you turn on the TV. Before you wake up out of bed. One of the best times. Before you go do anything. Realistically. But we can just start with the people and put it into your lives because that's a real good one. The whole goal is to take your time no matter what you do and don't think about it and more so feel about it. This state is a feeling state. It doesn't exist because it's not a thought. It's more like I'm going to do this. It's guided by an intuition. That's why some people say you don't have free will and is it the free will? Well, it doesn't fucking matter because it's a question and the question doesn't matter. What really matters is that there is no question. Anywho, there's a bunch of tips and tricks, but that was the one on top of my mind. Is taking your time when you're doing anything. Of course, if you have to do something, you can act. It's just like this. Again, let's say the fire example one more time. There's a fire going on. And you're like, and someone, maybe not you, but we can say you, is real antsy. And it's coming. You don't have a split second. You got to get out of there. You get up and go. But if you go in hectic and you panic, you might trip over something. And then you get caught on fire and you die. Whereas you are controlled when you do something, then you can control your reaction, how you react to anything. Because how you react is the basis of your reality. So if someone makes you, and it's your fatality. If someone makes you feel some type of way, it's because you reacted that way. So when there's a retaliation towards something, it's because you feel that way. That's how you're reacting. So maybe towards the government or whoever's in power, you have that initial madness. And the best is to let everything go and just follow your intuition in your heart. You get there, and it's a start when you're taking these breaks. Before you sip your coffee, sit there for a second. Before you go on a big adventure, you go to a new place, just look around. Most people are meditative because it's your natural state. They've overwhelmed themselves, but they're also not paying attention. So you don't get brownie points for being unconscious when you do something meditative. Also, it feels super great. But it will fly past you because you'll think about it and it's not really there. Because you'll think about it, and even if it is there and you think it is there in your mind, then you're still going back to that. And you're like, wow, how do I get back to there? But it is there. We are there. Yeah, we are there. So take your time doing anything. It can be whatever it is. Even when you eat food, chew it real slow. Feel the taste. That's all I'm leaving with right now, because there was a lot of mini examples in there, and also it's already a longer video. And that's the main tip that I have for now. I didn't really think about it. But you could see the overall picture that I was trying to paint about taking your time. Naturally, you'll end up taking more time. You'll also have less thoughts. So being unconscious and being in a meditative state, it doesn't count, because if you're not aware, it's like a paradox. It's kind of neutral, but you want to be aware when it happens. That's the whole key of the game. Because people will get into these states, maybe when they play a video game, maybe when they play a sport, maybe when they did some breathing exercise, some meditation. It never ends. But the key is to take it when you were once in that state with you all throughout. Make it that state. That's the whole goal of life. Because once you're in that state, there is no suffering. And it's just, you're not thinking about anything, so you're just feeling, and feeling is our existence, basically. It is love. It is God. I could keep going on. It never ends. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Have a nice one.